Learn to be super successful. Subscribe to my channel, Meathead. And as Gabriel pointed out very accurately, it's a building block system. And by the time you got your accounting firm and your law firm, and then you warm up banks, and you send them, not for asking for money, but, what are your lending parameters? And we'll walk you through step by step. And then all that team overwhelms the little dipshit motivated seller. Overwhelms them. It's like Blitzkrieg with the Nazi tanks cutting through the hedgehogs. And the only competition you'll have is if there's another QLA bot that happens to target that same company that you target. That's it. Now, last year, it's hard to believe, we only had 2 instances where you butted heads with him. Only 2 of all the people I've trained around the world. Only 2. Normally, it's not you're fighting over the motivated seller. Normally, you're fighting over the board members, more specifically the chairman, as Bill Moffat pointed out. And he wound up winning that little tussle that he had with one of my other mentees. But we're overwhelming them. We're giving them, you know how they used to sell, or Abe Lincoln used to make decisions, pros on one side of the paper, cons on the other side of the paper. Okay? Warren Buffett uses not a dissimilar methodology. There's so many pros that you never get around to looking at the cons. $75 billion in deals, 300 years of experience. I mean, it's overwhelming. They're overwhelmed if you follow the steps. I will say if you follow the steps at least another 500 times before the seminar is over. And I say it for a reason, because you'll find a way not to follow the steps. You'll figure some reason not to do it. But it starts with the chairman. You don't have to explain about him or her or it. And whatever industry, for Americans, that's the most notable, because Ben Carson is a high-profile guy in healthcare. And as far as I know, he's lived a career of 45, 50 years unblemished. He's never stuck his cock in the custard, as they say here. He's never done something stupid like everybody in this room, including myself, have done. Never. I don't know why. I've never met the man, but for whatever reason, maybe he is a righteous guy. Maybe he really is. I don't know. But that's who you're looking for. Now, on the other side of that coin, you're not going to spend 5 months to find him. Him, her, or it. You're not going to spend. You're going to do it as fast as humanly possible. Where the 300 calls are really important is in the beginning. So you can get through a lot of people so you can find the best person humanly possible. Or as some of my kids would say, divinely possible. That's a little bit of a stretch for me, the divinely part. And you want some person. Just recently, one of my soon-to-be on the Hall of Fame stars, and they've already done 13 or 14 acquisitions, and they slipped and made a mistake. And the board decided that, now's a good time to mutiny. We'll go to the bank and tell them how they fucked up, see if we can oust them. He or it made these people rich. Didn't make any difference. But because of her chairman, its chairman, they were able to fight it off. But no matter how set you are, like Jack Ma from Alibaba fame, who disappeared, remember, for 9 or 10 months? He just surfaced again in the last week or two. You're never there permanently. You may think it's a permanent job, just like the Bitfuck kid, but it's not. And so you start with the chairman you don't have to explain about. But you don't allow your chairman to pick the rest of the board members. Because then it's his board, not your board. And that's the first banana peel that you'll be put in front of you for you to slip and fall on your head. And you go down the process, which we're going to go down starting tomorrow individually through each member of the board. And the executive summary will add each profile, not resumes, profiles. Now, most of your cases, guys and gals in this room, we don't need your profile. You don't add anything. Nothing. We have people putting on executive summaries that are doing deals that their profile's not even part of the package. And your job title is a founding founder. That's it. But we don't want them to be distracted. And one of the questions you're going to ask during the interviewing process, sir, at the beginning, remember, not at the end, sir, is there anything in your past, financial or personal past, that may preclude us from getting bank financing under strict investigation? Like, remember, it starts here, sweet pea. That's the same kind of question. And when they go like this, next. I was an unindicted co-conspirator. I've heard that at least 1,000 times in my 30-year career. That means he had a good lawyer. Doesn't mean he was innocent. Doesn't mean the bank will approve him. I was an unindicted co-conspirator. That's a favorite in India and China and shit like that, where you pay for the results. You ask the tough questions up front. Sweetheart, you like rough sex? You found the right person. Is there anything in your background, personal or financial, that would preclude us from doing a finance under a strict investigation? Okay? Have you ever considered selling your business? You ask them up front because you waste months, sometimes years, and then you find out. And you can go through a lot more deals. What it allows you to do is ascertain if there's a potential problem. You want to know not if there's a red flag, not if there's an amber flag. I mean, you want to know if there's any potential for this deal cratering. And at least 20% of the people you're going to interview for the board will not be able to tell you, no, I'm clean. And then the second question that they may ask you back is, how long back are you looking at? Next. That means they're guilty. But maybe it's 28 years ago instead of 25 years ago. Some of you in this room do not pass mustard. And you know who I'm talking to. All the more reason that you're not in the executive summary. We've got double murderers too, though. Double murderers. Did 11 years in Florida State Penitentiary. Successfully rolling up healthcare in Florida. But you got to disclose it. And most of you, the few of you, or the 2 or 3 of you that may have done suspect things or things that may not be understood properly, have been trying to hide that shit all your life. Or since you were incarcerated, or since you did the thing or whatever you did. And we get it right up on the front. There's never a good time to give bad information. There's never a good time to make hard decisions. Never. And I'm saving you time. I've had hundreds of millions of dollars of deals fall apart right at the goal line because then we found out because he or she did such and such. And don't write me an email, Mr. Peña. I kind of talked about it in my paperwork, but, I'm not interested. Don't tell me. So don't fucking write me or Kim. I don't give a fuck. That's not my challenge. I'm not your chairman. But we've had kids sued by the board because you weren't honest with them and you didn't do full disclosure. And you worked on a deal for a year and a half. And each board member was going to make 5 or 10 or 20 million, and the chairman, and then it fell to shit because you didn't tell them the truth about yourself. Then they sue you for tortious interference with the contract. They take your little feeble 1,800 square foot house away from you, your fucking apartment. And then you say, oh, God, didn't the old man talk about that? Old man being me. Then you wish that you had. Most of the, I won't say most, I'll retract that word. Many of the gurus out there that some of you follow couldn't get a loan for $10,000 from the bank because what they've been involved in the past. One of the great lines that Elon Musk said last year, they'll allow a stupid moron kid to borrow $100,000 to go to a school, but they won't give him a $10,000 business loan. Well, truer words were never spoken. But those things are going to just be a little more important now because they're going to look at, you know how an optometrist, he flips those things around, he changes the lenses until it's clear. Well, there's going to be an extra strength lens on the deals. But it's still going to get back to cash flow covering debt service. But now, cash flow's got to be, in my opinion, 2 times debt service. At least 2 times. If not better.
No more 105, right?
Pardon?
No more 105?
No, well, they were never 105. I'd say banks would loan at 105, but we were never doing deals at 105. Never. All those deals are bankrupt now. The deals that were 135 are bankrupt. The deals that were 150 are bankrupt. The deals at 175 are bankrupt. The deals at 195 are bankrupt because the rates have gone up twice. I'm here to tell you that those of you that have attempted to do deals and attempted to put your board together, et cetera, I mean, this is a slight exaggeration. This is a Trumpism. I wouldn't look at them, if they were naked on their back. But the real filter is your board. And your real filter is your chairman. A chairperson or whatever. I was on a board with a lady naval officer, an admiral. And I said, ma'am, and when I was in the military, you called senior officers ma'am. Ma'am, would you like me to refer to you as Admiral or her name? And she said, Mr. Chairman, me, women senior officers don't wear their rank on their, their dick size on their shoulders. You can just call me Jill. Same question to a very senior Army officer, 4-star kind of guy. And he said, you can call me General. Whereas the gals, they don't wear their rank. Or she said dick size. But that's really what they're talking about, dick size. My 3 stars are bigger than your 2 stars or whatever. So that's the only difference about, and we're going to start when we actually go down the numbers of chairman and we get all the way to the motivated seller. And I show you how to flip them into the, you already asked them, are you interested? Have you ever considered selling your business? Those are the first words out of your mouth. The second phrase is, what's your timeline? In other words, how soon do you want to get this done? And they'll say, yesterday. Well, we're going to have trouble now. It used to be Corona we had trouble with. now we're going to have trouble because interest rates. And now it's just taking longer. And they'll say, oh, well, how long is longer? Between 6 and 16 weeks during the commercial bank, which is the truth. No lie. 16 weeks. And you wait for a pause, and you'll learn how to do this better as you practice. Do you have a problem with 16 weeks? Ma'am, I got a big goddamn problem. What kind of timeline were you looking at? A couple of weeks. Well, that's not realistic in today's commercial lending environment. But because I am from the Marvel comic books, I am a superhero, I know how we can get it done in 3 days. They're crawling through the fucking phone. They're trying to give you a blowjob through the fucking phone. If it's hopefully, I don't want to get into the genders anyway. And the seller finance. Now this is all on your thumb drive. One of the cute stories I'll tell as I end today. We've got a French girl who's Parisian, pain in the ass. French are just pain in the ass, period. Parisians are more of a pain in the ass, who lives in Switzerland. She was just a business slut or slapper or some kind of the year, 2021. And she goes on the webinar. At the end of the day, I just decided to follow the scripts, even though they made no sense to me. And I was surprised they work. She's tried 5 months not following the fucking scripts. And they work. She doesn't know why, but we don't care why. We only care that they work. One of the languages the scripts are not easily translated into is Arabic. But that's about the only language. They translate pretty well into Chinese, Korean, Portuguese, you name it. But Arabic, there's some words that just don't translate. Okay, 5:30, I'll see you in a few minutes. Then the 6 and the 6:30, and they're all over in my office in the castle. Then we'll see you for dinner. I may mention to 2 or 3 of you that you've got to answer the other question and email the stuff to Kim again. There's still a couple we haven't covered that you read last night, which I'll cover tomorrow. But you're going to hear a whole bunch of people that not only can you change, they can change your life vis-a-vis the information they're going to translate to you. But you got to pull the trigger. You got to use it. Okay? Okay, kids. We'll see you later tonight.